Kirk Cousins, man.
Before we start with Kirk
Oh
Cousins,
yeah, sorry, do your thing.
we got some NBA news. Patty Mills has been waived by the Atlanta Hawks. Also, we got some soccer news. Paul Pogba has been suspended for 4 years for using performance-enhancing drugs.
Dang, 4 years.
Yeah,
They
so
doing that in soccer?
he can't play for 4 years.
Dang, that's wild.
Soccer don't play, man.
Almost a
Soccer don't
half
play.
a decade almost.
Mhm.
You know how much is gonna happen in 4 years?
A lot.
I mean, 4 years ago it was the start of the pandemic. That's a lot.
Facts.
Gosh. All right. So the next team we got in Patty Mills. Hey, he gonna be a place for a destination for a championship team, a championship caliber team. So let's talk about Kirk Cousins, man. Kirk Cousins. I mean, a fan favorite in Minnesota. You know, after every dub, he throws on the grill, throws on the chain. All right. Kirk Cousins had a great season last year, in my opinion. I feel like he started off a little rocky, and then he started turning up in the season. The Minnesota Vikings started to turn around, and then he ended up with that Achilles injury that put him out for the rest of the season. And you know, the statement game they had last year was basically against y'all. You know, so he had a good season. We know he's been having a guaranteed contract since he's been with Minnesota, but his contract is up, and he's fresh off of Achilles injury, Dave. All right, so I'm gonna kick this one off first. Where's the best landing spot for Kirk Cousins? And to be honest with you, I think he's gonna stay. I don't think he's going nowhere because first of all, that Jettis is his guy. I mean, I think you posted it. So somebody posted a post of Kirk Cousins like getting a new grill, and Jettis was like, "Now I'm gonna get you one with diamonds." I'm like, "Oh, they still like cooking," you
That's his
know.
guy.
So I'm like, all right, that's one thing. Number two, the guaranteed contracts. The guaranteed contract that he's been receiving just shows how they feel about Kirk Cousins. You know, the only quarterback that's getting that type of getting that type of deal. That's number two. And number three, when he got that, sorry, I got 4 points. When he got that Achilles injury, how sad and how down the whole daggone organization was when he got that Achilles injury. And number four, you got Jordan Addison, you got Jettis, you got two wide receivers that are studs. You want to keep a quarterback with these guys. You want to have a legit quarterback who throw these guys the ball, right? So I think he will stay. But like Mark said, the best place for him is Pittsburgh. All right. I think Pittsburgh is the best place for him. Pittsburgh is a quarterback away. Pittsburgh's in a situation when they don't really need a quarterback to carry them. They need a quarterback that's going to play mistake-free and have some explosive plays every now and then, which they don't have right now. They are too dependent on their defense. They crawl their way to the playoffs, and then when they get to the playoffs, they get routed by the Bills or the Chiefs. All right, somebody with a high-power offense. So they need a guy like Kirk Cousins. It's not like Kirk Cousins played bad last time we saw him in the playoffs. When he played against the Giants, he had a good game. He actually played well. So I think Pittsburgh will be the perfect spot for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I also believe he stays as well. I don't think he goes anywhere. But I think there are three other places where he'd be really good at: Pittsburgh, Atlanta, or Vegas. So if you look at Atlanta, they already have the weapons and everything. They got Kyle Pitts, they got Drake London. They got Bijan Robinson. They just need a quarterback that can help them be able to get some wins. And I think Kirk Cousins can definitely go into that role and pretty much just win the division that's winnable right now. There's really no dominant team in that division, so he would have an opportunity to win that division every year. Because I think without a doubt, if he goes there, he's the best quarterback in the division. Then if you look at Vegas, I mean, they got one of the best receivers in the game still there. And you got a head coach who's been there, Antonio Pierce, who's been a Super Bowl champion. He's from California, so he knows exactly how it is when it comes to the Raider Nation, because Raider Nation is based in Oakland, even though they're in Vegas right now. But he knows exactly what that fan base is like. So that will help Kirk Cousins out. And he, like I said, you know that his top receiver ain't gonna have to worry about having a game where he only got one target the entire game.
He gonna
So
throw that man ball.
exactly. He gonna throw in the ball. And then I mean, Pittsburgh, you named everything for Pittsburgh, so I don't really need to say anything about that. But I think he goes back to Minnesota. I mean, he got um, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. They got everything they need there. I think what they really need to work on is their defense, to be more consistent, because they
Mhm.
blitz a lot. We know one thing about them blitzing a lot and being able to create pressure, but can they get stops consistently? That's the I think that's the thing that when it comes to Minnesota, because they have everything offensively that they need. They just need to be more consistent defensively. So
Yeah.
I say he goes back to Minnesota.
And then also, now I think about it, right? You just swayed me a little bit. What do Kirk Cousins want? All right. Does Kirk Cousins want to be a Super Bowl champion? Does he want to be hosting that trophy? If that's the case, maybe Atlanta is the best spot for him. Because like you just said, when you go to Atlanta, the NFC South, who you got? The Panthers. You got the Buccaneers. You got the Saints. You just said it. He's automatically the best quarterback in that division. 2 years in a row, we saw the division winner not win 10 games. 2 years in a row, right? So the NFC also is the weaker conference. We like when you come look at the quarterbacks, they're the weaker conference. Like there's not a lot of quarterback competition in the NFC like it is in the ALC. ALC, you got a lot of guys to worry about: Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. All right, but when you look at the NFC, also if we stay with the Vikings, the Lions are on the uproar. You got to worry about the Lions. Green Bay Packers are in the uproar. You worry
Yeah,
about Green Bay.
Jordan Love improved last year.
Yes, he did. You go to Pittsburgh. I mean, do I got to say much? Probably the toughest division in the NFL, right? The coach of
Yeah,
the year was Stefanski. They made the playoffs with daggone three quarterbacks starting, right?
yeah,
Four last
yeah,
year, right? You got Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP, number one seed, and you got Bingo Joe Burrow out for revenge. When you go there, and then the Raiders, John Harbaugh, he's talking about winning two Super Bowls. He got Justin Herbert. I mean, two back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. Already got to keep going for it. So maybe the best spot for him if he wants to get a ring is Atlanta. Is Atlanta. And you playing in a dome. You don't have to worry about cold weather ever like you do in Minnesota. You get a playoff home game, you in a dome. You're not playing in Minnesota no more. You're in a dome. Or Minnesota is in the dome, matter of fact. I'm tripping. All
yeah,
right. So so yeah, so I would say that Atlanta might be the best spot for him, but like we both said, I think he's gonna stay.
yeah. I think he stays. He likes his relationship with Justin Jefferson in that team, so I think he stays.
Yeah. And they got weapons in Atlanta too. So Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle
Mm-hmm,
Pitts. So and they got a good defense. I mean, Raheem Morris, your head coach, defensive guy too. I
mm-hmm.
mean, that's a good spot. All right, Dave, talk to them about these IG chats we got going on.
All right, y'all. So these IG chats, we pretty much give you all the latest news here first. As you noticed on the show, I gave you two breaking news, one in soccer, a chat that we now have that I forgot to mention last time we were on the show, but